and I would limit each speaker to 5 minutes. I guess this is, since you're not on the agenda, I guess this is you.
This might be me. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Allen. I'm with Regrowth Planning. I'm working with the Planning Commission right now on the update to the town plan. And I wanted to stop by tonight, make some announcements, introductions. We have our kickoff meeting coming up January 20th at the Public Library in Manchester. And we're hoping to introduce the project to the public at that time, get some initial feedback from people on what issues they feel are important for us to look at as part of the town plan update. And we'll be using that to launch a town-wide vision survey, which is going to run to about mid-March, I'd say. We're going to use that input to help design some of the public workshops that are going to follow that in the spring. So based on some of that early input, use that to figure out what topics of interest and so forth, exercises or discussions we might want to have at some of the workshops. In addition, also during that time, we're going to do some more, I guess, targeted and selected outreach at the local schools, MEMS, Maple Street, Burnburton, to solicit input from younger students and young families to provide their input from their perspective, as well as outreach to some local workforce and employers in the area, employees and employers, to get their perspective on a couple of issues, including housing and local jobs and so forth. So all of that input will be used to help design 3 public workshops that are going to be coming up. March 16th, we'll be having our town visiting workshop at the Taconic Hotel. April 9th, we'll be doing a housing workshop at the Maple Street School. And then April 29th at Burnburton Academy, we'll have a workshop on economic development and that topic in general. We're hoping that all of the input from that will be able to develop, working with the Planning Commission, some draft goals and strategies to put into the plan, which we hope to present, I think, sometime in June. And then after that, with some public input, hopefully update the document in July, August. That's our general time frame. It's a little aggressive, but I think we can do it. All of this information about the plan, what we're doing, schedule, materials is on a webpage that we've set up here. It's also on that card that I was handing out earlier. And we're going to be updating that website with meeting minutes, videos, public comments, and so forth as it becomes available. So that's like the one-stop shop for all the information you would need. Hopefully, my role in all of this is to really kind of shepherd a community discussion about what the issues are and what some ideas are, try and pull it all together, and then sit down with the Planning Commission and figure out a good strategy for how we're going to do all this. So I've been interviewing some of the town staff and department heads lately, just trying to get a feel for what's working, what's not working, what can we do to improve things, operations in Manchester. I wanted to extend that invitation to all of you on the select board and invite you, and I don't expect a response right now, this is just a public comment period, but invite you to share with us what you think, what issues do you think we need to address going forward as part of this? And do you have any specific ideas or recommendations for things that we want to try and tackle? So that is essentially my pitch. I want to stay within the 5-minute time frame, but the summary I handed out right here that I just gave you. So I invite you, one of the things about the website that we have set up, there's an online comment form, recognizing that not everybody can attend meetings. So at any time, you can go to the site, click on the link for the online comment form and submit comments and ideas, suggestions. I invite everybody in the public, including people who own property here or business owners or employees, share us your comments and ideas. And as the board, if you want to make use of the comment form, or I gave you my card if you just want to email me your thoughts, and I'd be happy to follow up with you, discuss anything that you might want. And that's essentially my pitch. Do you all have any questions?
You asked us and I was going to ask you, do you, I mean, you mentioned two major issues here, the housing and economic development. Do you anticipate any other issues coming and rising to the top of the list?
Yeah, I do. I mean, within the scope and budget of the plan that we're working on, the Planning Commission wanted us to definitely make sure we focused on the housing and the economic development because they know of those being key issues. And that's why we designed this the way we did. There are obviously going to be other issues involving, I would say, probably cell service and probably tourism. I guess that falls under economic development. But there are going to be other issues. The Valvoline application, for example, is going to be a hot topic. In just talking to folks around town, I've been trying to make the rounds, going to lots of places locally, spreading the word about this, putting up posters, handing out those cards. A lot of people I spoke to suggested that's going to be a reason they might show up. And if that's a catalyst to get people involved, I welcome their involvement. I don't want our public meetings to be, one issue, because I think there's a broad array of ideas and issues that we need to look at as part of the plan, but development is one of them. So.
Will you use the work sessions? I imagine you're going to break out into separate groups or something.
That's the idea. I have other members of the team from Saratoga Associates that are joining me. They're going to help facilitate some of that based on what we're hearing from some of the, the surveys. We're going to kind of figure out how we want to design things. In some cases, we might do breakout rooms, discussion tables, and so forth. You get a lot more throughput and a lot more ideas when you're going to separate people into separate groups and then come back together and, compare notes. So it helps when you only have maybe a 2-hour window to get everyone together and get their ideas. You have to make the most of it. So.
I'm excited.
Okay, thank you.
We haven't been through a process like this. It's been quite some time. We've done it a few times, and it's been extremely productive in helping to outline the direction that the town may want to go. And of course, that changes over time. So it'll be interesting to see how this aligns with studies that have been done in the past. But there's certainly new issues on here. Housing, the last time we did it, was not really one of the top issues.
No.
Now it's
probably the top.
Yeah. Economic development, that's always there. But I'm interested to see what people are worried about and what they think the municipality should be doing for them through the land use process. So I'm excited.
So am I.
Welcome to the team.
Thank you.
Michael's been doing an amazing job getting the word out. It's all over your phone. It's all over town. You can't go anywhere without really seeing that this is happening.
And thanks to some folks who've been helping to spread the word, share it. I appreciate that. All the helping get. It's very much appreciated.
Just curious, because I think it's great, this is weird coming from me, the digital person, like having all these opportunities to submit information. Obviously, you're going to have these sessions where people can come and voice their opinion. Do you have any places for people to write stuff down and submit it, like a box for?
As far as a more analog paper solution, we could certainly do something like that. I'm not sure if there's a.
No, coming from me, right?
Right. Well, I think, I don't know if it's convenient enough to maybe make a Dropbox for paper comments or if it's possible to direct people to mail something to the town, but address it in a way that says this goes in the Dropbox.
Okay.
I think we could develop something like that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Speaking of digital, I just heard on the news this morning that Denmark is doing away with their postal service.
Yes.
They've had a postal service for over 400 years. And they kind of lead the world in digitalization.
Mhm.
And apparently they have no need for the post office anymore. I suspect we're all headed in that direction.
Slowly. No, I think junk mail is keeping our US
Me
Postal
and my
Service.
time, but
Yeah.
I still mail checks when I.
Make sure you do it by the postmark date now.
The postmark date, apparently, Scott, doesn't mean.
We'll talk about that later tonight.
Yeah.
So I will certainly look into a way that folks can submit comments more traditionally in paper, because there are folks that just feel more comfortable that way.
I spoke to two people today, actually, who I was talking about something. Oh, you can just go to this website. They said, well, I can't really
The tough part is, how do I get the message out to them?
available. I know.
If that option is available, because if they're not going online, I'll have to think about that. Okay.
We just put a Dropbox in the.
We can put-
Office.
We could put one here on the counter, yeah, and we could have a little sign saying, a little comment section here and a pen and just.
I'm gonna leave this here if that's okay, or just
That's
a
fine,
little,
Michael.
just a reminder. I don't know how many other meetings are gonna be held here between now and January 20th, but just in case.
Couple tomorrow.
Any other thoughts?
Not at this point.
Thank you very much.
I can. Are there any other public comments? I don't see any hands up, so I'll ask for the approval of minutes. We'll take them one at a time because it was different people attending. The first meeting that we're gonna do is December 16th. And I think
I was not.
there were only three of us, I think.
December 16th.
Did that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I think,
Yes,
I
that's
think,
correct. So I'll move to approve the minutes of December 16th.
I'll second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's 3-0. I mean, I guess it's three.
Extension.
Yeah, 3-0 and one abstention. And then on 12/22, we were all present. Lori attended by Zoom.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of 12/22.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's 4-0. Okay, Scott, we're gonna review and possibly approve the fiscal year 2027 budget. At our special meeting on December 22nd, we pretty much came to consensus that this was where we were gonna land, but we had already said that we were gonna make the final decision on the 6th of January, and here we are.
Yeah, and there's been no changes since then. The only potential change going forward would be the Habitat for Humanity. They're seeking, or at least they told us they're seeking 5,000 as an appropriation up from 2,400. So that's the only thing we can see is possibly changing in the near future.
I'm not gonna jump the gun this time.
So highlights, total non-tax revenue is down 4.69%. Spending, including voted appropriations, not including petitions that may be out there circulating now, but based on last year's numbers, spending is 3.38%, which I think in a budget that includes a 5% increase for employees. We did, when I say we, Scott, we did a really good job on this.
Well, and that and the substantial increases of the police and dispatch union.
This does a lot. Unfortunately, because non-tax revenue is down, the amount to be raised by taxes goes up by 4.86%. But I think this is a very responsible budget. It continues to provide the level of service, including all of the demands that have been placed upon the town over the last few years, above and beyond what used to be considered core services, without breaking the bank. And I will be very happy to present this at town meeting if it's approved.
I move to approve the fiscal year 2027 budget as presented.
Second.
Move to second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that's 4-0. And good job to everybody. It was tough and we did make some adjustments on the non-property tax revenue side to help put it over the top. But they're conservative adjustments and we should be able to meet those numbers very easily.
And I feel like over the last 3 years, like obviously I was there before I became a member of the board, but just being there at that meeting, plus the two that I've been through so far, the process feels much better
Mhm.
and much improved. I remember like 3 years ago, it was, you were on line 87 and we were on 111 and everyone else was on, like, that's
Right.
really cleaned up. a
Yeah,
lot.
there were some formatting issues, but speaking of formatting, I like the way that the whole budget is formatted now, with personnel in the departments where they belong, instead of separated out as one big piece. You can look at this budget, you can tell what each department costs us as taxpayers, and it's very easy to follow.
Yeah, that was one of our goals, so I'm working on it.
Streamlined.
I'm really excited to say my neighbor, Christina Weinberg is here. And with an extensive background in finance, has stepped up and offered to join our financial advisory board. And we asked the police if there's no outstanding warrants for your arrest. I think everybody's seen the letter that she submitted.
Mhm.
Anybody want to take action?
I will move to appoint Christina Weinberg to the Financial Advisory Board.
Second.
Well, you're second.
Second.
Any
Thank you.
discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Well done.
I look forward to joining you. I honestly didn't realize that the letter I had written would have been shared. I was just kind of inquiring, so apologies for the non-professionalism in how it was written, but I look forward to joining and helping out however.
Well, thank you. Thank you for stepping up and offering to do that. How many people are on the advisory board now? Do we
There's
know?
5 now. We have Marie Ferrin, George, George from the bank.
George A.
Yeah, George Hay, Andy Shaw, and then Christina. That's it. So I'm sorry, 4. Yeah, well, because Brian Vogel is not an official member.
Not a member, but he's-
Right. He guides us and makes the investments and everything. So
it's,
explains everything.
I had forgotten that we had put Andy Shaw on there and I just, nobody here will remember, maybe you will, Greg, but whenever there was a need to fill a position anywhere in municipal government, we would just automatically appoint Andy because he wasn't here. We couldn't say no. He might have landed on that board because of that. I don't know.
Well, he's also run for, is it High Bailiff?
Oh, high bailiff, yeah, yeah, some of the layer of coal and fence viewer.
It just brings up, if I can just interject a quick comment, that we still have an opening in the planning commission. And this is an important year for the planning commission, as Michael referred to that. So if you know of anybody that might have interest, please.
Have we advertised that?
We've reached out, we've got it on the town's website and things, but
Probably should do some sort of more prominent social media post.
There you go.
Yeah, because they weren't able to get quorum last night either.
they had
because
2.
people.
Yeah, one was sick and another person just didn't show.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah, see, you're gonna be
you
there
were
anyway.
on the board.
So, You could be the new Andy Shaw. Okay, we need to get that board up to a full contingency.
Right.
Thanks again.
We, speaking of appointments, we need to reappoint our town health officer.
That's right. His current appointment expires at the end of January. So tonight, the select board will hopefully recommend Peter for the town health officer. It goes to the commissioner who makes the actual official appointment, Commissioner of Health. So Peter's got the online piece of that all done because they've moved everything that way. All we need to do is reappoint him for another 3-year term.
Move to reappoint Peter Barbazon to the town health, as town health officer.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Do we have a
Deputy?
deputy?
Yes, Tom Sterling.
Oh, yeah, good deputy.
Yes.
And does that need to be redone? I don't know.
No, that was a different term, but we
Okay.
did that within the last 12 months. I can't remember exactly when, but probably early summer. So he's good for a while.
Perfect. Okay, this one kind of surprised me because I hadn't heard anything about this particular application off the end of Benson Road. But I guess the roadway improvement agreement that we had with this particular developer has expired or is expiring. And we need to renew it just in case things go forward there, that this will be in place and be a part of the process.
Right, so apparently the board agreed, the board at the time agreed to this agreement in 2021, June of 2021. And that expired on December 31st, 2022. Then they approved an amendment on February 23rd, which is just expired last week, December 31st. So this is the second amendment to extend the agreement. And he requested 12/31/28, which we're recommending actually that we just go to the limit of the permit, which is 6/15/27. Doesn't make sense to go beyond that, even though the permit could be extended by request too, but.
We'll deal with it at that point in time. But I agree. They should.
Coincide. It doesn't make sense not to.
Any questions on this? Greg, you.
I mean, I remember, yeah, I remember we were talking about this in relation to the development and the proposed, I think,
Resort.
the resort,
Yeah.
right? And there was a lot of work that went into this roadway idea. And I mean, should something come to pass, I still think that this is a good idea for that area, given the traffic in the summer, the parking issues, a lot of that was, I think, in there. So I have no problem with, I don't know whether, I have no idea if this is, we're going to see the light of day,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But if something happens,
Yes, yeah,
we've got this agreement and the road will be improved at the expense of the developer. Which is why we put it together in the first place.
yeah. So I'll make a motion to extend the roadway improvement agreement, Benson Road with developer Jeff Nywhite.
Until
Until
6/15/27,
concurrent with that,
concurrent with the permit
yeah.
expiration of permit. Okay.
Firm.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
Is that concurrent based on? So if they were to renew, does that mean that this would then extend automatically?
No, we'd have to extend it.
Okay.
Well, the way the motion was framed,
Yeah.
Right.
potentially.
It raises some questions. It could raise some questions.
So do you want him to amend it to say,
A date.
I would just go 6/15/27.
Okay, since we already have a motion and a second, we should amend it
Amend it to approve, to extend the roadway improvement agreement to 15, 27.
Okay. And now we'll vote on the amendment, or we need a second.
Second.
Second for the amendment. All in favor of the amendment, say aye.
Aye.
And then we'll get back to the main motion. Are there any more questions on it? If not, all in favor of the main motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Right.
Aye. Okay.
Okay, there not be any unintended consequences.
Yeah.
Always are.
Okay, everyone will remember that we were successful in acquiring MERP, MERP grant funds for improvements in the town hall and the public safety building. Most of it is related to energy, but also incorporated into this was the upgrade of the bathrooms in this building to ADA compliance. And we have the ability here to award the contract.
We do. So we put out an RFP seeking bids. We had several inquiries, but we received just this one lone bid that you have. And it's fairly low for what we were thinking was going to happen. So tonight, if you're willing to approve the award, we'd like to do it without a monetary figure attached to it. Because we do have an actual, like a limit with how much of the MERP funds we can use towards this, which is about $80,000. You see, the bid was $13,400. So I don't know if they've fully grasped what we were trying to do, or at least in their designs, it would have accomplished what we had put out in the RFP. But there's more that we can do there in those two bathrooms. So if you're willing to approve it without a monetary attachment to it.
Like,
Should we
can
cap
We can cap it, sure. Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted some wiggle room beyond the 13.4.
Can we cap it at 50?
Sure. Yeah, that sounds like.
Not
a
to
reasonable
exceed.
Move to award a contract for the bathroom modifications at town office with a cap of $50,000 to the, what's the name of it?
High Tech.
Protection, plumbing and heating.
High Tech Plumbing and Heating. To be paid by the MERP grant funds.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And we'll get that straightened out.
Bathrooms.
All right,
Well-oiled machine.
we review and approve the vending ordinance every year, but I see that, Scott, you're suggesting quite a few adjustments this year. So we probably,
Yeah, and I'll walk you through them.
I was gonna say, we probably should walk through it.
I'll walk you through them. So I left the strikeouts in there so you can see that, and I've highlighted a few words also. I'm just gonna go through them fairly quickly. There are a couple key points that you're gonna have to make decision on tonight. But rather than jump to those right at the moment, let's just slowly or quickly walk through them. So on page 2, which is section 9.4, 9-4, you'll see in section 4, it just says the town manager may suspend without a date limit. That's fairly inconsequential. Number 5, added sole discretion. The town manager may require a cash bond. I mean, when you guys issue the vending license, you could also do it at that time. So maybe we make that one or. But a lot of times they come in between sessions and they're in a rush, like for a weekend vending permit or something. So it was a timing issue with the cash bond thing. Would you like to see select board and or town manager on that language, or just myself being able to do that?
You're doing it anyway, right?
Right.
Does it offer you any relief if you're out of town for a reason so that we could help you in the interim,
Like, how would the select board do it? Anyway,
I mean, you have to meet in order to do it. So you
Yeah.
have to have a special meeting to do that. Yeah, I don't see it working out that way. So we just leave it as town manager then.
I think so.
Section 7, the the DRB may review and may provide comments to the select board. We had shall in there, that was inserted this last year. The reason why we changed it to may, not to limit their ability to input, but they meet once a month also, and sometimes not once a month, once every 2 months. So it's difficult to get their feedback on a timely basis.
Hmm.
So, what I see happening, the way it's kind of happened is we give it to them and say, we're gonna possibly approve it on this night at one of your meetings. And if you want to comment, give us your comments back before that for the board.
Okay.
That's why we have May in there. Here's a big one, number 8, all vending equipment, trailers and related items shall be removed from the vending location at the end of each business day. As you know, we had this before. This affected 2 of our vendors. One was Hound Dog and the other was the Jamaican food truck. Jamaican food truck, it just didn't work out. I'm just gonna leave it at that. That vending permit, that vending license that we issued, it's just a problem from the beginning and all the way through it. Hound Dog is very meticulous about, meeting our requirements and our deadlines, and he's great to work with.
Well, I think Hound Dog, Neil, had come up with a plan that worked for him and worked for us with the flexibility that we were allowing, but because there was flexibility there, other vendors, vending operations took advantage of it. So Neil is now feeling the repercussions from that. True. I think it needs to be removed at the end of the day. And I think you're doing the right thing here. Vendors bring a lot of energy and fun to the streetscape in town, and people use them, and they're really a good addition to what goes on here in town. But they're also in direct competition with the restaurants that pay taxes, have to go through zoning, the health department, have to provide parking, and everything that goes along with it. And they've got a huge investment in their business, and vendors can move in. And if they're just allowed to squat on somebody's property and have a full-time business there, it's an unfair advantage relative to the bricks and mortar restaurants in town. So there needs to be a very clear line of distinction between a restaurant and a vendor. And that starts to get blurred when it's there parked. And also, they're usually sitting on somebody's parking space that is tied to the permit for their business. And they haven't had to meet any of those requirements. So I think this is a reasonable solution. I think it worked well for a long time, and it's one of those painful illustrations how sometimes trying to be flexible and accommodating doesn't work.
Yeah, I think I was the initial advocate for him being able to, for Hound Dog to be able to keep that one trailer there. But suddenly there was the one red trailer, and then there's, I think, maybe three more.
There's two more large,
And sometimes
red one plus the other two.
there's a refrigeration unit, and they've set up shop in a way that wasn't the intention. And I think you're right. We've seen what happens, and I think we have to go back to removing.
Okay.
Do we have any language in terms of penalty if they, like, what's gonna happen if, let's say, I know we're gonna be.
Well, in this particular
But
coup that's being proposed here, where Scott takes over all authority and
That's why I enjoy this part.
I know there's gonna be something's gonna come up and potentially. Can't get it out. The truck's not working, whatever the case is.
I think in the class 2 section, Jonathan, it talks about penalties, but
Okay. We can get there.
we can get there. Okay, so turning the page to section 9, It's just, again, same thing as before, just town manager instead of select board. It's a lot easier to process. If you want it back, no problem.
Right, Ivanson.
We, we took out that, the vending employee vehicles. We can't determine whose employees.
Too hard to. implement.
Yeah, it's too difficult. So every time we had that, which is several times, we took that out. And then some other words like from time to time, I don't know what that means. And the dumping of the gray water, they certainly can't dump it in the town wastewater system, but, I don't know what authority we have to stop them from dumping in somebody's private septic system or whatever. So I just scratched that off there too.
Makes sense.
The operating within 10 feet of any adjacent property, that was kind of a gray area. It was kind of, we didn't have any problems with that. Nobody ever brought that up. I just thought that was unnecessary.
Wasn't that's 10 feet is the normal setback in most districts anyway, correct?
Right, but if it's a vending equipment that's being removed every night anyways, do you need that in there?
I mean, if you think about it, would you really want like a vending truck right next to your restaurant within 10 feet? I mean, there might be a reason why you wouldn't want that there.
Well,
We could leave this in, this section. Because it does allow for someone to be within 10 feet if they have the approval of the neighboring property owner.
yeah, I don't see the harm in leaving that one in there.
Well, I mean, Hound Dogs is probably right butted up against that property line.
They own the whole
No,
shopping center, right?
no.
But
For Bogosians?
Oh, I don't know.
Pretty
I don't-
sure.
Yeah, I don't think there's.
I think it's one parcel.
Well, Seasons, is
two
that,
different
is that a lease?
Yeah,
That's a lease. Okay, so the whole, yeah.
I mean, but like Nan's, she's got the little cart, but sometimes she's moves around a little bit.
I think a 10-foot setback should be in there anyway, I think
Okay.
I'd leave that one.
okay.
We'll leave that one in then.
Not running up against
Within
it.
10 feet of any and all adjacent boundary lines. So Nan might be operating within 10 feet of the road right away,
Mhm.
which is a boundary line. I suspect that she is.
I would think so also.
So, but we could give permission for her to.
Sure, by authorizing her license, we're giving her permission.
Right. Okay,
Because on the license, she's got to show where she's going to be operating.
okay.
Okay, we'll put that in there.
Go back before you leave this page. From time to time above was probably if and when somebody like Hound Dogs would go and vend at the rec park. Was
The
that?
rec park, it does have allowances for vendors in there. It has a separate section for that.
So that's, yeah,
Yeah.
good, just one.
I mean, it doesn't change the meaning of the sentence.
Right.
Take it from time to time out of there. The sentence says vendors may operate only between the hours of 7 and 9. The town manager may, and there used to be from time to time, modify this condition for special purposes or events. And now it says the town manager may modify this condition.
Right.
For special purposes or events.
Doesn't make it.
Does not change the meaning. It's just
Superfluous.
superfluous. Good, easy for me to say. Or on the
Now we
next,
see another town manager.
Yeah, that's another one there.
we got to change from select board to town manager.
Moving to 23 there, we put municipal parking lots in there because we don't really have the authority to limit private parking lots as you know, what we've been through recently in the summer with parking issues and things, so we just changed that to municipal parking lots.
So solicit funds, any person soliciting funds, would that include, I guess, panhandling, is that the word?
Yes. Yes, it would.
Right.
So the person you're referring to, the one outside Price Chopper, generally is within our right of way.
Is it within the right of way, but maybe standing on an island or next to adjacent to the right of way?
I've spoken to him many times
Yeah.
in a nice way, and he moves back a bit, then he's back.
Yeah.
Anyways,
But that, what we're saying is, and that's not, oh, that's municipal. So if somebody like that, I mean, it's up to Price Chopper to take action.
if they could complain to us, and we could talk to them, but
Right.
yeah, they're the ones that need to have.
I think you're right. I think this language is correct
Mhm.
as you propose it,
Yeah.
because we don't really want to get into policing on private
Private property.
parking lots or private property where there's some kind of agreement between the owner and whoever is soliciting funds. Unless in some way it's putting them in violation of their underlying land use permit.
If they're operating, it's almost a business.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
And this board gets to initially approve the license, so, I mean, we have the authority through me, as it says there, to stop their license for a period of time.
Yeah.
So if they're in violation of something like that, we can always yank their license or put it on hold for a while. So we have that leeway.
If you need a license to vend on somebody's private property, conceivably, you could say you don't have a license to, solicit funds as an individual. And we don't issue licenses for an individual to solicit funds anywhere,
no,
right? But we do give vending licenses for people to vend on private property. So what's the difference? If you're not, you need a permit to do it.
Well,
We
because
don't issue permits.
a vendor has some sort of cart or structure or vehicle or trailer or
Yeah.
a combination of the above, maybe even umbrellas,
Right.
but not tables and chairs. It's placing objects.
The distinction you're making between an individual and somebody who's got some kind of improvement. I'm talking specifically about the person that stands at Price Chopper.
Yeah, and that's not a vendor under our definition of the ordinance.
Right, I mean,
But it is a person, any person to solicit funds. So I guess what I'm saying is if you're granting a permit to vend and you have that, you're not granting a permit to solicit funds. You've got people that are vending on private property, and whether this person is standing on private property or standing on the municipal right of way, there's no license for that to happen. There's no permit, there's no available permit.
Greg, it almost seems like that bit is interjected into this vending ordinance, and it should be somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
related to
Yeah,
vending
I
based.
don't disagree with that either. I'm just looking,
What I would suggest, then maybe we scratch that little piece there where it says, to solicit funds. And then you leave everything in here that's related to vending.
right, exactly. If we can find a place for that elsewhere.
And I think we can in the general regs or something like
It
that.
could be something that does say there's no permit available for any person to solicit funds on. Well, I'm not sure.
Well, if you're selling goods and services and getting paid for it, or you're soliciting funds.
But you're selling goods and services. You're not simply just,
How does that affect Special Olympics standing out in the middle of the?
Yeah, or
But
the,
they received the permit.
drop or whatever we call it.
well, that's
Coin
true.
drop.
Well, that's
Yep.
true. I mean, any,
Actually,
actually
we
gave
allow-
them
Permission.
Permission.
We give them permission.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
and we do allow, this goes against what we're allowing with Special Olympics.
But we gave them
Well,
permission.
we give them permission.
Right. Yeah. I don't know.
Because the end of the sentence
Yeah, it goes on to say,
unless
right.
by the town manager in writing at his or her sole discretion. Well, this town manager's got a lot of power. And thank you for doing that because we don't want to deal with this.
I'm not sure we do take it out of this. I think we leave it and you have the right to be able to say this is a violation of this subsection and considered a second degree civil violation. And you can, and that may be enough deterrent.
Think he's gonna read this?
No.
It's not whether he's going to read it, it's
Okay.
just to be able,
Gives us some teeth.
just be able to say that you're in violation of our ordinance.
I just wanted, I just was trying to make it, the vending section relate to vending,
Yeah.
Because this seems unrelated to vending. Vending is a selling of goods.
Well, maybe, yeah, okay, so, okay, yeah, let's see if we can put it somewhere else,
Okay.
but with the same weight.
Sure.
Yeah, and have the town manager, be in full and utter control.
No, but seriously, we'll just pull that out of that line. To solicit funds, we'll pull that and then we'll make sure we have it added somewhere else.
Yeah, with
More appropriate ordinance.
a mechanism by which we can grant authority for these special Olympics.
Yeah, because we're not gonna, I don't think we'll approve this tonight because we're making changes. So we'll come back at our next meeting and then it doesn't go into effect for 45 days anyways.
Yeah.
So,
Hopefully we'll have it in effect when the vendors
Food truck season starts?
start lining up.
well, technically it started January 1st.
Nancy's been
Yeah.
out there in some pretty rough weather.
Yeah. And
Wheels going full.
we've got an application from Hound Dog.
Yeah.
So, okay, moving along. Section 24 there, it says, it's about vendor relocation to another parcel or using new equipment and trailer. We took that out about getting select board's approval and DAB approval also. Because they're already listed above, the DRB may make recommendations to the select board at that. 9.6. We added the class 1 seasonal licenses, because they were somewhere else and we just put them in with class 1s. Again, the vehicle parking thing we took out. Class 1 seasonal, we added the dates from May 1st to October 31st. Fees are established in addendum A, which I think you have in your packet also. We amended that last year. So again, maybe, section 5 may be reviewed by the DAB, who could provide comments to the select board. They would get their comments to you before you approve or disapprove it based on timing. Section 6, and this is elsewhere too. So we try, Ivan, I know you just talked about this, the chairs and tables. Seems like almost all of them have picnic tables, chairs. And it's not coming from them necessarily, it's coming from the property owner. So for ease, for clarity, we were taking it out. If you want to insert it back in, and I understand why, and I agree with you, it's just, it's difficult to tell the property owner that he can't put a picnic table out there in the middle.
And we first ran, not first, but we ran into that discussion with the trailer that was parked on RK Miles property. And there was a picnic table there, but RK Miles said, oh, that's just our picnic table and it's nearby, but it has nothing to do with the vendor. And of course, people could get their food and go sit down, and it seems reasonable, but if you have available seats and tables and all that, it really blurs that clear line of distinction between vending and.
It's also tricky because it behooves many business owners to have a popular food truck outside of their business. 'Cause then it's like so for them to pop up a table and say, take up a couple spots, it drives tons of business.
Yeah.
So they're, so, but again, it's a distinct disadvantage to brick and mortar restaurants that have to go through so many different things. So
Well, a restaurant is told by their permit and by the health department, how many seats they can have. Indoors or outdoors.
Right.
And vendors don't have to go through any of these processes. So it seems like a kind of a small thing, but then how do you limit the number of tables and chairs if they're allowed?
That's our problem, recognizing and how to deal with it. And so rather than get that gray area in there, we just took it out.
I feel like then it becomes even more acceptable to have more picnic tables and seating available to the.
It just happens to be there
Right.
on the underlying property.
We can leave it in and try to enforce it. And this would be the way I would suggest we enforce it. When we issue the license, we make it clear that you can't have any picnic tables or chairs out there.
For takeaway.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Whether that'll work or not, I don't know.
Well, we can't, but again, the property owner, you can't tell them that they can't put out a picnic table on their lawn. Who is it? And next to Perfect Peace, what's the Pops? That's in the village.
That's in the village, right?
It made it, that whole stretch, all that grass.
So remember the taco guy went behind our buildings when we owned him, Jake Wu. He had one up there all of a sudden.
Three.
Three tables.
I think that one of the ways I don't feel quite as badly about it is that once the weather changes, the rain comes, that they're not vending. People aren't sitting on they're subject to they're not open as long. It's seasonal. It's a little bit less of a factor, I think, than we're making it out to be.
It's 6 months of the year though.
And it's rain and flooding, lots of flooding.
You want to leave that in, leave the restriction of no.
It would be interesting from an economic development standpoint, like you said too. I mean, whether or not in the meetings, this would be a good topic to let people have a say.
I think we should leave it in for now. That
Okay.
vendors may not use chairs or tables that are to be used by the public. We'll run into this where the underlying landowner has a picnic table out there. And
Right.
Is it a big deal? I don't think so.
Well, yeah, and yeah.
Well, the other thing is too, if we end up enforcing that overnight removal of equipment, I think that'll also affect this a little bit, because rather than setting up a camp, and you've got this equipment set up and you've got the picnic table there, now the equipment has to go away overnight. And so I think it might be more easier to enforce that bit.
I think so. And if it's the underlying landowner's picnic table, it stays.
Yeah, okay,
Right.
all right. I think we're on 9.7, class twos. We took the vehicle out again. Class two licenses are established. Oh, shall not be prorated. We added that bit, only because, doesn't seem fair if Hound Dog comes in January 1st with his check for the whole year, like he's supposed to. And then somebody else comes in June when the weather's nice and only pays for half a year. So we figured they should pay the full year fee.
The fee is the fee for the year. Yeah.
The fee is not that exorbitant.
Yeah.
Well, that's it, yeah. But, we just wanted it in the ordinance.
You, on number one, go back to so So when we said you could stay there overnight to Neil, suddenly it was the red one and the two others. So we're not saying, all you're saying there is you can have a vending operation no matter how many trailers can fit within that
300 square feet.
100 square feet. That's fine. They all have to go.
That's what we're saying.
Okay, so he could wheel those in if he wants to, but they all have to go.
To be wheeled out, right?
Okay. Yeah, because there was a time when it was just the one trailer,
Yeah.
and it's,
I mean, what, if you've got 3 100 square foot trailers or vehicles or whatever, this would allow that.
yeah, I mean, that's my
It talks
question.
about an aggregate footprint.
My question is whether or not that was something I didn't anticipate that happening. And like you said, that people saw that and then it was, may have led to the village that grew down by the river.
Yes, and even his, when we talked about it, it was like that big red trailer being left overnight. And then all of a sudden there was
That's what
another one.
Yeah.
Now there's a third one.
Right.
And they're not
We-
small.
No, they're not. And I don't know, if you're talking about vending, should we be saying it's one either motorized vehicle that you vend out of or a trailer? Right? But it's not, you don't bring the warehouse. I mean, I was a little put off by the fact that he ran with it. And it's a full-time 365, operation there. All he has to do is show up. It's a restaurant. He's got refrigerated units. So anyway, that certainly wasn't what I was advocating for with his ability to leave the trailer there overnight. I just thought that'd be a nice thing, given his, he's hooking up and taking that trailer away seemed like a lot of, but obviously that was bad unintended consequences galore.
Line 7 or section 7 there, we just talked about that, so we will leave that in there. Farmers markets, those licenses are established, 9(8), section 2. Weekend events, I left select board with some authority there, just.
Oh, thank you so much.
Some,
And yeah, it's at its sole discretion.
well, if that, you're right, that should not be there, so that'll come out. Probably my excitement to give you guys some. And class 910, section 910, class V, those are same things that we've seen in other sections. Tables and chairs in section 4 of that 910 section, we will leave that in. And that's it. So I'll make those changes, bring them back to you next time. You may have some vendors who might want to show up and talk about it at that time.
I was gonna say, don't we need to have a 15-day
There is a period.
public hearing notice?
No, not on this.
No, not for this.
This is just an ordinance. I mean, we can, but there is a 45-day. Right. And after we approve it, people can question it.
They could gather signatures if they want to do so. Yeah.
Where are we on the 3 trailers? We didn't.
Overnight removal.
So you can have them
Yeah.
if they fit in the,
If
in
it's
the,
300
total,
square feet.
they don't
Yeah.
exceed the maximum square footage allowed for that particular level of vendor.
yeah,
More than one,
okay.
it can be a tow vehicle and a trailer or whatever.
Could
Well,
like a landowner build a garage and just let the trailers get popped into that garage on their property? They could, right? It's just, we don't want them to be out in sight. Is that gist?
You mean, property owner that's leasing or
Yeah.
donating space to a vendor,
They could pop a
they could
garage.
let them put it in their garage type of thing, yeah, I would think.
Worker.
They're moving it from where the
Yeah.
vending
Yeah.
space is out of sight,
Yeah.
out of mind, I think.
Well, there was a time when Hound Dog was out beside the road, beside the main highway. And they had to remove it every day. And he got permission, asked and received it just to move it to the back of the property and then pull it out every day, just kind of out of sight. He's actually closer, vending closer now to where he used to leave it overnight, but it's that was at the discretion of the underlying property owner. That's to where he could locate it.
Okay, so we'll be talking about this one again at the next meeting.
Which is on January 20th, by the way.
Oh, just social media blowing up over this.
Okay, that's good. Scott?
We should set a date for the special meeting to sign the town meeting warning.
What's
The first day we can do is January 22nd, and the last day is February 1st. The last day for articles we petitioned is January 15th, which is coming up soon. And then the last day for public officials is the 26th, which we, if you're running for reelection, you should get your papers in before then. So we've met before at 8 AM for a short, brief 5-minute. At the warning, is that what you'd like to do again, mate?
Oh, that works.
What day is it?
22nd is a Thursday.
You wanna do it that Friday, 23rd? Oh, wait, when is that 3-day weekend? Oh, that's the night.
That's the night.
You wanna do the 23rd? Friday morning?
Friday
Friday the
8th.
23rd.
23rd at 8?
Yeah.
Oh, good, I can come sign the warrant, that's perfect.
Okay,
All right.
that is
We'll have an extra member on the board that morning.
January 23rd.
Henry will be here.
What would we say, 8 o'clock or 8:30?
Or do you wanna do 8:15 just to get?
I mean, I have to take him to East Dorset, so it's fine.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
8 o'clock, all right
I'll send him my
then?
lap. 8's fine, yeah.
8, okay, good.
Gives me a reason to bring him in.
Okay.
And get out of the door by 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Quick, it's a quicker, right? Quick 5-minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
Tricky, yeah. Second comment I have is you've read that US Postal Service article. It just basically says postmarks do not necessarily reflect the date that the Postal Service accepted possession of the mail.
When it was processed.
So, I mean, we have had people vehemently complain that they got into the post office in time and we're charging them a late fee because but yeah, this is a
recently was told that by someone who knew this for a fact, and I may miss the right city, but a letter being mailed from Manchester Center address to a Manchester Center address went to Greenfield, Massachusetts and back to from our post office to Greenfield, Massachusetts and for sorting and then back to our.
You see
post
that-
So was it postmarked in Greenfield?
It was postmarked in Greenfield.
And of
So it
course,
didn't get postmarked until it reached wherever they sort the mail.
Mhm.
regional sorting facility.
So what you're saying is that is it fair to keep giving like fines to people for like 2 to 3?
That's what we have right in our warning right now. So if it has, the tax payments have to be postmarked by a certain date.
And when I pay my
So some towns
taxes,
don't have that.
post office and I hand it to them and I say, I want to see you stamp that thing.
Yeah.
So does that
They
work?
stamp it.
Does that work?
That
We get a
works.
stamp.
The stamp.
I mean, it always has.
It has
I've never
today's
had
date
a
on it.
problem. Yeah, and I say, we use stamp, I wanted stamp.
But that's a hand stamp, right? So the postmarks that we're talking about are the single line black text that just like.
So if you had a hand stamp, that wouldn't count?
No, totally, it
counts.
would count.
It probably would.
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah.
Not everybody's gonna do that.
Well, we just have to encourage
We're
people
talking about
to
what,
do. that.
3 people.
I had to drive
one
to
person a
Bennington
year? I mean,
once because our post office was closed. Probably on a
Really?
Saturday. I don't know. I had to drive to the Bennington post office to get something postmarked. Just because of my own stupidity.
And can't you also drop it in the box here?
Yes. But we collect that at the end of the last day.
Yeah, at 4 PM, like
Right.
on the day off, right?
But it's on time.
We're not suggesting a change right now because it's kind of been traditional that we've had it allowed by postmark dates. But if we want to think about changing this, maybe we give the public a year's notice, advance notice that, next year. I don't know. I mean, people have all kinds of excuses.
Yeah.
And so we don't know how many of those are valid or not.
Always thought that when you're paying taxes, if you're doing it by mail, get them to stamp it right in front of
Mail it early.
Early,
Or like the postal service said, get it certified mail.
earlier.
Pay the $10 and you save.
you. No, I know. Send it a week earlier, but that's my point. Even when it doesn't matter when I go, I tell them to stamp it in front of me, so I know that it's been done. And just don't leave it to chance.
All right.
The post office is gonna hate me now. Oh, there'll be a line out the door. I had to get this stamp.
Yeah.
One other thing, it's just to reiterate what Michael Allen said earlier, the town plan meeting is at the Manchester Community Library.
20th.
20th, which is just before this meeting, and it's from 5:30 to 7. If one of you is willing to volunteer to go to that meeting, they would like just very brief introduction. We're thankful for you showing up and encourage your input in any way you can.
I'll be there.
That sounds like a Jonathan job.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, my husband will already be there, so.
I didn't step forward.
You push
You
back.
step back.
Just because that's a tough time.
And final,
I hope to be there, but I can't. get it.
one final thing is we do have an open position on the trustees of public funds. If anybody's watching this,
Hey, Andy Shaw.
Andy Shaw will put him down.
This guy right here.
So we're looking to fill that also,
And the housing task force.
and the housing task force. That's all I have.
Okay.
Next meeting.
Is there any other business here at the table? Not seeing any. We don't have a need for an executive session. Our next meeting is January 20th. 7 o'clock, but we just noted that there is a meeting at 5:30 at the library relative to the new town plan. I encourage everyone to try to attend. And that's all I got.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Moved and seconded, non-debatable motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, we are adjourned. Thank you for saying.
Yeah.
A rarity.
We're on a street. I shouldn't say that though.
And David, as usual.